Devilman is a horror shonen with regular superhero elements. The story is about Akira Furo, who with his best friend, Ryo Asuka, discovered the existence of demons, a race of evil monsters who try to reclaim the world from humans. The only way to stop this threat is to stop them by becoming Devilman. Written by Go Nagai in 1972, Devilman is a manga with a legendary status, influencing a lot of big staples in anime like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Berserk, Madoka, hell, even video game icons like Shin Megami Tensei. Devilman is a giant. With almost 50 years since its inception, it has seen countless manga spin-offs, a lot of anime shows, and of course, a live-action adaptation. This video is part of a project series in which I try to explain the differences between the anime and the live-action counterpart adaptation, while also giving a general rundown of the movie. This is Live-B Anime. In this episode, I'll focus on the Devilman film, which released in 2004. Now, to make some ground rules, I'm comparing the movie with the 2018 anime adaptation called Devilman Crybaby, since it's the most complete adaptation until date of this series. To be clear, Crybaby diverges a lot in some scenes with the original manga, which I'm also talking in this video like any other Live-B anime I've done. There are a lot of things that are anime original, and some things from the manga that didn't appear in the show, but the fundamentals and key plots of the anime are the same from the manga. So, to be fair, I'm just comparing the movie with the show, but if the film misses a key plot for the story, I'm gonna mention it alongside the manga version. Fair? Okay. It also should be noted that there are going to be heavy spoilers from the entirety of Crybaby. Also keep in mind, Devilman is a very dark story and it's not really for everybody. Be aware, and with that, we start. The movie starts with Ryo and Akira, as kids talking about monsters throughout history. Unlike the manga and anime, which start with the existence of demons before God's wrath and the rise of humanity. The film shows that Ryo and Akira are childhood friends, a trend that shares with the anime, but surprisingly, it's not like the original manga. In the manga, it's never stated for how long they have known each other, but in the anime, it's clear since episode 1 that they go way back since kids. After the title card, we have Ryo and Akira running for their track practice. Strange, since the manga it's implied that Akira is not a sports guy, but more curious since the track team is a vital part of the anime. I would like to think that it's just a coincidence and Masaki Yuasa just has a hard-on for track and field. Also, I forgot to mention, Crybaby is directed by Yuasa, a master in the anime field, that's why the anime is so good, okay bye. Also, we see that Akira and Ryo are classmates. Not like the anime in which Ryo suddenly appears one day to see Akira. After that, we have Ryo driving with Akira to an open mall, and we are presented to Miki. What the fuck was that wave? We have Miki trash talking Ryo, saying things like she can stand him, meaning that they know each other. In the anime, Miki doesn't really know who is Ryo. Something that is very clear is the difference of the setting, years, between adaptations. Crybaby is supposed to be in late 2010s, the film is set in early 2000s, and the manga is actually more complicated. While published in 1972, in some issues of the manga, the story is set in the year of 1980X. It's not really clear the actual year, but it's around that time. We continue the Makimura's residence. Akira explains that he has been with them for 4 years, and after his parents died in a car crash, they adopted him. Different to how in the anime, Akira stays with the Makimuras because his parents work overseas. In fact, both Akira's dad and mom are alive in the anime, until they're not, and in the manga they're mentioned once. Fun fact, with a later serialization of the manga, Akira's parents were included in the manga as excursionists who found the demons frozen in the Himalayas. It is believed that they died in that moment. Something different to the anime is that Miki doesn't have a younger brother, while in the manga and anime, Taro is an actual character. In the next scene, some delinquents are beating up Akira. They are present as well in the anime, but they don't really mess up with Akira. They are not that violent, they are just hip and irreverent. By the way, the delinquents are actually characters from the manga, and they are hostile towards Akira like in the film. After the delinquents beat Akira, a random guy starts to tell them the story about what happened with the last guy who messed with Akira. Ryo comes with some hedge clippers and cut off the 2 fingers to the bully. That kinda scared the delinquents. We are now presented to Miko, a character that is really interesting. Like in the anime, there is a character named Miko that is friends with Miki and Akira. But in the manga, there's not really someone like that. There is a girl named Miko who is a Devilman, just like Akira. But it's not really the same character as the one in the anime. She appears in like 22 pages only. As a matter of fact, manga Miko makes a cameo in the final episode of Crybaby. Anime Miko shares some aspect of Aoi Kurosaki, a character from Devilman Lady. Anyways, some girls bully Miko and Miki appears and makes them stop. Something that I have to say is that Miki is kinda similar to her anime counterpart. She's not a track star like the show, but is compassionate towards others and an overall great human being. Manga Miki is kind of annoying and very rude, until she becomes a fucking simp. Whatever, we have Akira and Ryo talking in the middle of the class like it's nothing, and Ryo tells him that his father died. We have Ryo giving Akira a VR headset, I think a modernization of the demon helmet that appears in the manga. We have Ryo's dad, a scientist, explaining what are demons and how they possess humans. Now we are in Ryo's house and meet his dad in demon form. In the anime it's not mentioned who is Ryo's dad, but in the manga it's just like the film. His dad was a famous scientist. Or was he? Gotta say, his demon form is kinda cool. A giant severed head. Anyways, he dies. What is curious is that Ryo's father dies burning, just like Professor Fikira does in the anime. In fact, Fikira accomplishes the same role in the manga as Ryo's father's, to explain the existence of demons. We have Amon fusing with Akira, and we see the birth of Devilman. Very much different to how it happens in the anime. In Crybaby, Amon fuses with Akira in the Sabbath, something very necessary for the process of this fusion. In fact, the anime Sabbath is actually identical to the manga, with the same nudity, drunkenness, and drugs. It's crazy to realize how old this manga is, and how ahead of its time it really was. The only difference is that the Sabbath happens in Ryo's house in the manga, and Ryo also has the intention of merging with another demon, but it fails. Unlike the show, that anime Ryo only cares for Akira's transformation. Anyways, a random ass demon appears and he's already dead. GG. Stranger than that, and watch out, spoilers to the ending of the anime. We see Ryo's demon form, something that we see just at the end of the anime. Like, it's a pretty big plot twist that the story has. And now in the film, 15 minutes in by the way, we are shown that Ryo is a demon. Why to spoil a fucking story movie? Also this.
Happy birthday, Devilman!
Next day, and we have the Makimuras gifting Akira a motorcycle, unlike the anime in which Ryo gives him the bike. Something that is clear is that Akira doesn't have a change of attitude in the film after his transformation. Both in the manga and anime, we are shown the before and after the fusion, how Akira becomes more aggressive for a lack of word. In the film, he's just the same fucking loser. We have Akira bonding with his past bully, so I guess he's going to be a recurring character. He's an original character named Ushiku. He says that he still has nightmares about Ryo. Understandable. And show him some drawings that kinda resembles him. We now have Silene appearing, similar to the manga actually. In the anime she appears after the Jinmen fight, but in the manga she battles Devilman right next to his transformation. Silene goes with Akira to Ryo's underground lab. Needless to say, it's very different to the show. Their interaction is not as horny as the anime. I think this is the perfect moment to mention that the manga is not really as horny as the show. Sure, there are some tits and whatnot, but really, the only character that deserves to be sent to a horny jail is Miki. Anyways, after a stupid CGI fight, and I mean a really stupid one, Akira faints like the anime, and Silene tries to kill him, but Ryo comes in the last seconds to stop her, I guess. She doesn't appear again in the film, so I guess she's dead. There's no Kame, and no margins in between the two. It's a shame really. It's kind of poetic how she perishes in the anime. Oh well. Akira wakes up and Ryo explains the merging process, why they fuse to survive, just like the anime. Out of nowhere, we have Akira and Miki making out. Their relationship in the film is very apparent. Unlike the anime, in which they didn't really say anything like that to each other, it can be interpreted that they love each other as brothers, but it can also be interpreted as lovers. Believe what you want to believe, really. In the manga, they don't make out like in the movie. Also, we have this reporter that will appear in the news anytime a demon attack is done. It's kinda funny. We are now presented to Jinmen, the demon turtle. In the movie he's just a random dude. In the anime it was Akira's dad. Keep in mind, that's anime original. Anyways, we now have Akira fighting Jinmen. The face that he sees is the one of Ushiku, his artist friend. In the anime it was Akira's mom, but that also was anime original. In the manga actually, is a little kid who was Akira's neighbor and friend before he moved out with the Makimuras. Anyways, it doesn't matter, look, Jinmen is dead. We have that reported again, and I swear it's impossible not to laugh anytime he appears.
There are reports from the US of human beings being turned into monsters, attacking people.
It's the next day, and Miko is getting bullied, until it's shown that she is fused with a demon. Kind of like her manga counterpart, I guess. The reporter is talking about recent news of a footage in Los Angeles about some cops fighting a demon. And the cops are really funny.
It's a demon, man! It's a demon! Come on, come on! Get in there! Can you see him? Can you see him? Can you see him, baby? Oh my god! The government!
We have now Miko swinging with a random kid, and he tells her that he is afraid of his mom. He says that she beats him. This is a story that appears in the manga that the anime skips. A friend of Tare, Miki's brother, has the exact problem. He's killed by his parents who are demons. Unlike the manga, Miko saves him from his demise. A day passes, and the reporter now mentions the existence of demons, and shows actual footage of them flying. This is a vital point for the story. In the anime, Ryo does his best until he's able to show footage of a demon in a killing spree in the middle of the track and field Olympics. With that, humanity is aware, scared, and paranoid about the demon's existence. In the manga, Zenon, a demon general, appears in every major metropolis in the world and announces a declaration of war against humanity. It's a big deal, so you'll understand my frustration for this reporting. And by the way, people still going out as if nothing happened. Anyway, the reporter talks about the creation of the demon countermeasures headquarters. Similar to the manga, the paranoia starts to rise, and demons disguised as humans create mass hysteria, while other humans need humans just for the fun of it. We now are in the anti-demon headquarters, like in the manga. It's not really a thing in the anime. The HQ is a regular building in the film, but in the manga, it looks like a fucking Dr. Wily's castle of evil. Anyways, Miko and the kid she rescued are captured, believed to be demons. There is a raid at Ryo's house. I think that's his house. The demon unit found a demon nest, and Akira with Ryo presents what's going to happen. Ryo wants to stop the demon unit from killing all the demons, but Akira is like, no homie, fuck that. And before killing everyone in the scene, a random demon calls for Ryo by his other name. So now, we know that Ryo is Satan. And we still have an hour left of this shit show. Whatever, Ryo kills anyone in the scene, and this fucking guy comes out saying some stupid shit like, it's cool to be bad, blah blah blah, and gets wrecked. Now we have some scenes of humans stocking up in weapons and harassing other humans just for the lols. It's the next day and Akira brings lunch to Miki's dad, who is at work. But by pure accident, Miki's dad finds out that Akira is actually a demon. That doesn't happen in the anime, since he dies before Ryo reveals Akira's secret identity. In the manga, Ryo reveals Akira's secret, and Miki's parents are present. They get scared, but just for a second. Then they trust Akira again. Actually, the film is kinda cute. He finds out, asks if Miki knows, and then he says that he will still be his father and will still love him as his own son. After that, they both find themselves in a confrontation between humans and demons, disguised as cops, I guess. And Akira finds Ryo disguised as a cop, shooting at people. Like that scene of the Joker in The Dark Knight. The government of Japan declares war against demons, and missiles are being launched everywhere. And in the middle of all this destruction, we have more scenes of Miki and Akira kissing. Miko and the kid escaped the anti-demon headquarters and went to Miki's place for help. Since the Makimuras are nice people, they let them stay the night. The next day, Miki's dad makes Miko leave the house since he feels that they are not safe here anymore. He believes that they are going to be reported to the anti-demon unit, which yes, he was right. To protect the Makimuras, Akira's revealed himself in the most pathetic way possible, might I add. Gets another smoochie from Miki and gets arrested. After that, he gets the death sentence. and the whole squad shoot at him. But clearly he's not dead. His right eyelid is still twinkling, you idiot. Anyways, the squad leaves. That same night, the neighbors raid the Makimura's house, fearing they are demons as well. The only difference with the anime is that Miki's parents are already dead by that moment in the story. The manga is kinda similar. Miki's parents get abducted and tortured until they die. And in the house are Miki, her brother, and the delinquents who befriended Akira. In the film, Miki's parents send her to her room for her own protection, but she acts like she's fucking grounded. Anyways, the mob kills mom and dad, and there are some scenes of Miko running, but I really don't care about her. We see more explosions and and the fucking reporter. Akira wakes up and goes walking very slowly to the Makimura's place, just to find them dead in the spot. Also, he finds Miki, and I swear, Miki's death might probably be one of the most hard-hitting deaths both in the manga and in Crybaby in anime history. But in the film it doesn't have that same effect. It's ugly, but not really heartbreaking. It feels kinda silly in a way. Akira leaves Miki's head in the church and finds Ryo, who says that he wants Akira to live in the new world where demons rule the earth like in the anime. Whatever, they start to fight, unlike the anime where it's an actual war between demons, humans, and Devilmen. Here it's just 1v1 Nuketown fight me, bro. Another fucking PS2 CGI battle. Until what I think it's a nuke from God. Kinda like the anime, it destroys the world. Keep in mind, God's fury doesn't actually destroy anything. The blast just transforms every human and demon into salt. It only destroys the planet after everything is fucked up. Anyways, the planet dies, I guess. And now we have the demon soldiers versus Devilman, who to equal the sides, get power up like he's a fucking Gurren Lagann, and kills every demon except Satan. We presence the final blow, and we see Akira fall with the most pathetic sound yet. Pathetic. We have Akira and Ryo talking in the rock, like the anime, and we see the outcome of their battle. A big difference, and a big one, is that the world doesn't end with God's wrath, like the anime. I have to mention that the manga ends just like the show. This is film original material. We have Miko and that fucking kid surviving the destruction of all living things on Earth. And of course an uplifting song starts to play while the credits start to show. Oh, I love happy endings.
Hello everyone, TitanGoji here, and once again, I'm here to talk about what is perhaps the most infamous live-action adaptation of any manga or anime series of all time, being 2004's Devilman. But just so I don't steal the spotlight from Syntaste here, I'll simply provide some trivia about the film and its production. I'll also take this time to correct any mistakes I made in my video about Devilman, as right now, I'm a lot more familiar with how to properly research Japanese films. But anyway, let's get right into it. The live-action Devilman is actually the first complete direct adaptation of the original manga, with some liberties of course. While you do have the original anime, it was airing simultaneously as the manga and was based on a different concept, as the two eventually went in completely different directions. There were also the original Devilman OVAs, but only the first two adapted the first half of the main story, while Amon Apocalypse of Devilman was based on the manga spin-off Amon the Dark Side of Devilman. For a while, until Devilman Crybaby that is, the live-action Devilman was the only adaptation to cover the original manga from start to finish. From Akira getting his powers to the final battle against Satan, the movie was actually delayed to smooth out the visual effects. When the first teaser for this film dropped, there was a lot of criticism aimed at the use of CGI, and how the film just did not look complete. So as a response to the criticism, the movie was delayed so the effects team could improve the effects some more, with the final budget being 1 billion yen, which roughly translates to around $9.5 million. Unfortunately, the final product has aged very poorly, as it was simply too ambitious for such a small budget, but easily could have worked. Devilman wasn't the first live-action manga adaptation that director Hiroyuki Nasu was part of. He also directed the live-action adaptation of Bebop High School in 1987, which earned him the award for Best Director at the 8th Yokohama Film Festival. Speaking of director Hiroyuki Nasu, there is a very haunting coincidence surrounding Devilman. Apparently, there was a film magazine with a list of directors that the publishers of said magazine wanted to die, and Hiroyuki Nasu was ranked at number 1 for directing Devilman, and unfortunately, Nasu would pass away the following year due to liver failure. Damn. The infamy of this film is actually greater than you think, for better or for worse. Devilman would actually go on to win first at the 2004 Bunshun Kiichigo Award, which showcases what is considered the worst movies of each year. It was also first for Best Picture, Best Actor to the Izaki Brothers, and Best Director at the Snake Strawberry Award, which showcases movies that underperform, was ranked at 14 in the Tokyo Sports Film Awards for its effects work, was also widely considered to be not only the worst film of 2004, but the entire decade as a whole, and finally, every year on October 9th, which was the movie's release date, Japanese fans make it a tradition to watch the film to mourn the idea that a movie like this could exist. That's all the time I got, and I want to give a very special thank you to syntaste for having me in this video. Hope y'all learned a lot, and take care everyone!
That's all for this video. If you like what you watch, please subscribe to the channel, give a like, and don't forget to leave a comment on what you thought about the show, or this video in specific. Check out the original Devilman manga. While Crybaby is an incredible adaptation, the manga explains everything that happens much better than the show. The manga is incredible, and it only has 2 volumes. It's super influential, and it stands up till this day. Also check out TitanGoji's channel, it has a lot of videos of tokusatsu and kaiju videos. It's super interesting. Also check out the OST of Crybaby, it has an immense amount of bangers. Like, it's insane how good the music in this show is. I guess that's all for now. See you in the next one. Bye.